And welcome, folks, to episode 38 of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We're a UK-based podcast talking about all things Dice Masters in the United Kingdom. I'm Chris, otherwise known as True Mr. Six, and with me today I have Andy, a.k.a.
Michael Jackson.
What?
Hi. Nice to be on your show.
The king of pop himself.
Yeah. Love the show, Chris.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Quite an accolade. How's Bubbles?
Oh, he's good. He's in the zoo now.
Oh, yeah. It's probably better for him where he can play with all the other chimps.
He likes playing. I used to play Dice Masters with him. It was great.
Are you doing Michael Jackson or just like some random old lady?
How dare you? I'm Michael Jackson.
Well, anyway, folks, yes, episode 38. Quite a lot of ground to cover today. How are you, Andy? How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Have you been playing, getting much in the way of gaming in?
Hello, yes. I have been, yeah. What have I been up to? I've put myself off.
I had a moment then where I thought, is he going to try and do the whole intro in his fake Michael Jackson voice?
I was considering it.
Anyway, back to your gaming, my man.
So Dice Masters, we had some games. We've been trying out single affiliation a bit more, ready for the MoDPDM.
That's right.
In February. Put it in your diaries.
Yeah, don't forget, UK listeners, 10th of February, Element Games.
Be there or be square. I've tried, my fourth or fifth affiliation now. Mixed successes.
Yeah, that one you played last week, I think went pretty well.
Yeah, the problem I've got, that was definitely the most competitive one, but it was also one that I didn't really enjoy playing. Whereas the one that ain't that great is super fun to play. So it's a conundrum, folks.
Story of my life, man.
I did have some games with my man Dan Snape, actually. I think that was
Hi, Dan.
A couple of weeks ago. Hi, Dan. Hopefully he'll be also coming to the MoDPDM. And that was fun. Played some single affiliation. He had some nasty little combos. I won't give away what he's working on, but it was fun. That was fun. Very much so. Non-Dice Masters, not as much as usual. Played a game of Shadow of Brimstone. My Mexican bandit character. Didn't go insane this time round, which is always nice.
Good skills.
We played this cool mission where there was just loads and loads of zombies appearing everywhere. And my guy frequently can get hold of dynamite. I was just lobbing dynamite left, right and centre and watching zombie parts go flying.
Wow.
Which was good.
Whatever gets you through the night, mate, it's all right.
It was fun. It's a good game. It's a really good game, that. And we've got Mansions of Madness coming up this Friday, which I'm looking forward to, going into a proper mission. So I've played the starter one a couple of times, but this one apparently is like on the hard level. It's like a 4, where the one we played before was like a 2. So should be awesome. Really looking forward to that. It's a super cool game.
Very good.
How about you, mate?
Lots going on. So, on the non-Dice Masters front, me and the hashtag competitive wife kicked off our Pandemic Legacy. We've had 2 sit-ins of that so far, both January. We got beaten by the game on the first sit-in and then managed to beat the game on the second sit-in. So we're basically going to play a month each month as the year goes on. So we'll hopefully conclude Pandemic Legacy by December. Then with the little ones, the usual round of stuff really. Played a game called Cobra Paws with them. Bit of Batman dice the other day just to keep them quiet while we're waiting for dinner to be prepared. Hey, that's my fish. All the usual routine. So pretty standard. Nothing new or exciting on the scene. Pandemic Legacy is brilliant, mate. You ever played Pandemic?
I've had one game of Pandemic. Really enjoyed it. It's very good.
It's good. Yeah, it's very good.
How is it different that it's Legacy?
You're essentially playing a storyline. So with standard Pandemic, you and the game duke it out. You play cooperatively to beat the disease. But in Pandemic Legacy, you have a kind of a sealed deck that you turn over cards at a certain point. Long and the short of it is different events happen, and that then influences the game state in different ways. Yeah, so you have a a January deck, a February deck, a March deck, etc., etc. And it makes changes to your board, and there's a few kind of rules changes that amp up the tension a bit more.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so we enjoyed it. So I'll let you know how we get on when we get our February game in, or February games, as the case will probably be.
Nice.
Yeah. On the Dice Masters front, bit of modern down the FLGS last week, and then we played Golden Restricted this week, where all the cards on your team had to match, and the first letter had to match an initial in your name.
Ah, so you would be C or W?
Yeah, well, we did all three, so CHW for me. So yeah, that was all right.
Collector.
No, I went with a Human Torch kind of list, actually. A Human Torch thing. Yeah, so I had Human Torch, and then the promo Hawkeye, Avengers Disassembled, the one that you KO, and it's kind of a bit like Batgirl. You know, you can split the damage across from the team. I put War Machine on, he was my W, because I just like that guy. I think it's a solid card, the one with fast, that does the two damage when it KOs. What else was
5 cost, though, isn't it?
4. That one's a 4.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So that wasn't too bad. Heimdall for ramp, which was not the best, but we have quite a few guys. Yeah, we have quite a few guys with P in their name, so there was a lot of PHC floating about actually, which was quite useful.
Forward.
Constantine, Captain America. Oh, Wonder Woman, that was a W in there just for a bit of protection.
Oh,
yeah, so that was good fun. And then, like you say, the single affiliation games I've been playing with your good self. So that's good times all round.
Times. We're playing some Global Escalation later, aren't we, to prep you up for your Chris and Gaines Rob Room, or Chris and Rob's Game Room, however you want to say it. Invitational. You got invited to that. That must have been nice.
Yes, it was. It was lovely. Yeah, it's nice to be recognised.
Isn't it? Just.
Yeah.
Must have missed mine.
Yeah, it's probably. Have you checked your junk?
Most nights, but.
Yes, Chris and Rob's game room. Their invitational's coming up, and that's kicking off, I think, at the end of the month, end of January. So the sign-up deadline is in fact today. We're recording on Wednesday the 16th. Is in fact today. So yeah, I've been working on my Global Escalation. I've narrowed it down to 2 teams that I'm indecisive about. But even then, I'm not certain about either of them. So yeah, we'll get a few Global Escalation games in to help me prep for that.
I got your back. You win that thing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm not feeling particularly confident actually. Global Escalation bends my head.
Yeah, I like it. It's better than 10 in 10 of 10. 10.
Yeah, I agree. So, what else has been going on? Let's talk about the dice creations for a minute.
Let's do that.
Yeah, so our MoDCraft challenge got posted as promised on the Monday that episode 37 went out. The auction ran for a week, and Monday just gone, those auctions closed, and we are here to say congratulations to Philip Moss, otherwise known on UK shores as Dante, who took the winning bid on both items.
Congratulations, maybe a strong word.
Yeah, sure. The poor lad.
Commiserations.
Yeah. Good luck with them, I suppose. Well, you can do. There's lots of great things you can do in mine. You can use it as like a tray.
Yeah, you could break it down, pick all the glue off, put them on big orbit for 25p each.
Yes, yeah. There's lots of opportunity with mine. Yeah. But it was a contest, Mr. England.
Was it?
Yes, it was a contest, and I believe what we said when we set the challenge. I say when we set the challenge. When you set me the challenge, was that the person who earned the most bids would be the winner of the MoDCraft challenge.
Don't remember that. Sorry.
Okay, well, we'll consider your memory refreshed.
Congratulations. Is that not that much in it? There's only a quid. Is it quid?
No, it's like £6 difference between the two of us.
Oh man, that's a mod pod.
That's a mod pod. Yes, yeah, the difference is a mod pod. So I came in at 33, and you came in at 26.
33. I missed that little flurry at the end. I thought you were on 27.
No, so hang on, let me look at the bidding history. Yeah, it was at 23, then jumped up to 32, and then right at the last hour went to 33. So someone sniped whoever the 32-pounder was.
Thinking heck. Well, yeah, if that's what float your boats, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations, Phil. Dante's been in touch. He's coming along to the MOD PDM, so we'll pass those along to Dante at that event there. I'll make arrangements for the Gaming versus Cancer donation to take place, because the promise was that I'd give 50% of the auction price, and then the remainder of the money will contribute to the prizing that's coming together.
Very good. Cool. Yeah, it's quite a bit that we can put into the prize pot with that.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm the winner once again.
Well done.
Best is behind you. So yeah, that's been going on. There was quite a bit of hubbub about the WKOs, or lack of WKOs, wasn't there?
Yeah, we're all doomed again.
Yeah, no WKOs. It must be all over and done with.
This game is over, man.
Yeah.
That's it. We're all done.
No WKOs is just evidence of one thing and one thing alone: that there's no WKOs.
No WKOs.
We have been in touch with WizKids to get a comment. That sounded very professional and journalistic then, didn't it, for a minute?
It did. They didn't reply. They haven't replied yet.
No, they've not even declined to comment. They've just not replied. So I don't know. Keep your eyes and ears open for further news about what's going on with that. But I'm not getting down in the mud on that one. Just is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. We've got that 40k set coming out. We've got Justice coming out. We've got the X-Men set coming out, and we've got the Men in Pants set coming out.
Yeah.
So that's 4 sets. That's pretty much the year sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. So at least, at very worst, there's a year's worth of gaming out of this game yet.
Yeah, and then you can still use the stuff you've got. Let's not forget that.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So, but we further or beyond that, we've actually had some correspondence in the last 2 weeks.
Get out of it.
Tell me about it. So the "Where are you?" attempt to switch up "Who are you?" kind of didn't result in a "Where are you?" actually, but we did get. We need to say hello to Bob Wisenthal. Hello, Bob, a player out in Chicago. Now, Bob was quite curious to understand how Chicago ended up being the location where we were listened to the most that particular week, because he can't seem to find anywhere where Dice Masters is going on, and just plays at home on his kitchen. He's a kitchen table player. So not only is this a hello to Bob, but we're looking to play Matchmaker. Those other Chicago listeners, if you're out there, please do get in touch. We have Bob waiting in the wings, looking for someone to get a game together with.
Just to get some games in.
Yeah,
walks on the beach, good sense of humour. If that sounds like the kind of guy you want to play with, then get in touch.
Yes, yeah. Bob's message says, "I would love to play Dice Masters somewhere other than my kitchen table. Please use all your powers and skills as the #1 Dice Masters podcast to make that happen." Boom. Yeah, so there's Bob. And then a little bit more correspondence. Jocelyn. Hello, Jocelyn.
Hiya.
Hi. Jocelyn got in touch with us to follow up on the ramp and churn conversation that was in the last episode. So we actually...
Where does Jocelyn live, mate? Where does she live?
She lives in Mississauga.
Mr. what?
Mississauga.
Oh,
or Mrs. Sauger, I think they probably say it out there, actually.
Mrs. Sauger.
Yeah, actually, so while we're on the subject of Mrs. Sauger, you know, that place.
That's my English teacher at school.
Oh, really?
Mrs. Sauger.
She didn't do a great job.
She helped me with my words.
She did she? Helped you speak proper English like what we do.
Aye.
But Jocelyn says, I enjoyed today's episode on Ramp and Churn and wanted to suggest a card that you didn't discuss that I've been really enjoying from the new 40k set, the Fetid Bloat Drone Plague Probe. And that's got the global on it. It says, pay a shield once per turn on your turn, sacrifice a sidekick character die. If you do, draw and roll 2 dice. Place them in your reserve pool. And Justin goes on to say, it really helps churn your bag and also give you the energy to buy those high-cost characters. Maybe not as effective as Mimic Ramp and Churn, but I've been playing with it in set, and I'm now trying to build it into other teams to see how it works out. So thank you, Jocelyn, for your suggestion. There's a little addendum. That's the first time anyone's ever kind of written in and said, oh, you know, interesting discussion. Here's something else I'd like to throw in the pot.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Thank you very much.
We get the odd comment now and again, but that was the first time. But while Jocelyn was writing to us, she also asked if she may shout out her friendly local gaming store, which is Decode Adventures in Mississauga, and they play on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. All are welcome. So if you're in the area, then get on down to Decode Adventures on Wednesdays at 7.
Oh, I'd go if it wasn't halfway around the world.
Yeah, for sure. So there we are. I think is that everything. That's all the kind of intro bits done, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, we've done the what are you? I'll do a theme tune for what are you. Should we do what are you? God, that's a pain to say. For the next episode.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look and see. Let's keep flogging this dead horse. Oh my word!
That was my actual horse. I'm in a stables tonight.
Oh, right, I see. I see. I'm having a look at the stats, and our top city right now is El Segundo. Why is that funny? Don't disrespect.
Where's El Segundo?
It's in the United States. It's in California. El Segundo. Well, yeah. So if you're in El Segundo and you're listening, give us a shout. Let us know where you play and what you play, whether it's a gaming group or your local gaming store or something, and we'll give you a shout out in the next episode.
Cool beans.
There we are. Okay. Well, on to this. What we got coming up in this episode then. So we have 2 segments for you this week. We've got the return of the patented Ministry of Dice, The Bar. So, we've got not just 1 but 2 guests competing in our Ministry of Dice The Bar contest. And then me and Andy have taken a look at the Warhammer 40k box sets and have done a Pick of the Week segment where we've both chosen a card and explained why we think it's an awesome card. So it might sound like a short episode, but lots of content coming up for you folks. Is there anything else to say at this point?
I don't think so.
Okie dokie then. Thanks, Mickey. We will get on to the next segment.
Shamo.
Yes, welcome back, folks, and we have a special treat for you this episode. Not just 1 special guest, but 2 special guests. We have Arj O'Neill and Lucan O'Neill, the world champion and the world first runner-up. Is that what we call it?
Gold
and silver. Let's call it gold and silver. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, very good. Yeah, everybody says that, and then I think they change their mind after they've been on the line with us for about 30
Well, we
minutes
reserve our rights to, change our mind. Absolutely. No, but truly, it is an honor to be here. I've been listening since the very first episode of you guys and enjoying the whole run. So.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's extraordinary, actually. We've talked about it many times. We may have even said it on the podcast. We find it amazing, really, to think that just our chats that we record and then put out there are listened to by people the world over, and you guys are out in LA, aren't you?
For sure, yep.
Yeah,
literally the other side of the world practically here, so yeah.
Yeah, but LA is a place of kind of mythical wonder for us in the UK. Yeah.
It's the antimatter to the gray and rainy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What was it? What was it? Bill Hicks said it's just lizards and fools live in Los Angeles.
I'm a little of each, so there we go.
Yeah. Well, I think he was more specifically referring to Hollywood, of course.
Yep.
I went to LA once.
Did you?
Yeah, bus drivers were really rude.
Oh, okay. What were you doing in LA?
Is visiting M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, absolutely. He had auditions. Is that what it was?
You don't audition. You just invite.
Oh dear.
We did.
Well, there you go.
It's actually a true story. We went to.
Wait. You say this
of a chat show, and the guest was Martin Sheen.
Oh, nice.
But he wouldn't do it with an audience. So we just had to, they just recorded us laughing and clapping in different sections so they could edit us in.
The magic of television.
Yes, it's Hollywood at its finest.
Yeah. I'm a big Martin Sheen fan. I love The West Wing particularly.
You worked on The West Wing.
I worked on that show. And Martin is a sweet man, a really sweet man. And he's one of those guys who, boy, he's such, it's funny, you meet people here in, if you live in this town, you run into celebrities every once in a while, and everyone handles it differently, because I can only imagine if you're a celebrity, everybody knows who you are, and you don't recognize anybody, right?
Yeah.
And Martin handles that in the really coolest way. He just comes up and just sticks out his hand every says, "Hey, I'm Martin Sheen. How are you?" And just he's super friendly. And He's like, yeah, I go to church with you and I've worked with you for 3 years.
Oh my dear. Oh my goodness. Bless him.
But he's a sweet, 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 sweet man. Really. Also does a lot of work at the Catholic Worker. He's he really puts his money and his time where his mouth is.
Yeah. And then you have the opposite of that when you go to Starbucks and then Arnold Schwarzenegger cuts you in line. That happened to me once. Very a little disappointing.
Was that while he was governor?
No, it was relatively recently, a couple of years, 3 years ago-ish.
Okay, so he wasn't even capitalising on his political cachet there. No. Wow. So it's interesting. So you guys work out in LA, you work in Hollywood. It sounds like you've got some celebrity stories there. Up until recently, worked for a British TV company, but I don't think the celebrity status of the people I run into even vaguely compare to the likes of Martin Sheen and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that's what I'm saying. LA is like this, this kind of mythical holy place. It's the home of MGM and Warner Brothers and. But of course, talking about celebrity status, you guys can't really walk into a friendly local gaming store with a Dice Masters scene now without experiencing the same. I mean, Lucan, when you're in the line for the coffee machine in the corner of the gaming shop, you can cut the line now.
Actually, interestingly enough, half the people in our FLGS don't know we're world champion and runner-up.
Oh my word! Well, we'll have to get you a badge or something, or start a promotional campaign to world champion and runner-up. Yeah,
T-shirt, cap.
I thought about it. You had mentioned, Andy, how you were saying that when you came back after winning UK Nats, that you wanted to go into work and brag, and I had sort of the same experience, and the fellow coworkers have decided to really break my proverbial whats, and so I've got on my name plaque to my room, it now says Arj O'Neill, world champion, editor.
Nice.
As well it should. Very good.
Keep it humble.
Yeah. I remember going to a game shop with my young son, and there's some Dice Masters on the side, and he was like, do they know who you are? So I was like, of course they do. But it's not one thing to brag. So they pretend that they don't, and you don't want to just break that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of my absolute finest moments was at a WKO, and I get paired up with a young lad who's relatively new on the scene over here, and he says to me partway through the game, he says, Have we met before? Your voice seems really familiar to me. I was like, yes, that's it. I've made it. I'm like, well, actually, as a matter of fact, little known fact for you here, young man. I'm Chris, the other half of the Ministry of Dice. And he was like, no, I don't listen to that. I'm like, oh, all right.
It was the technical help when my skybox broke down. That's what they were talking about.
Oh dear. Well, let's talk about that World Championship for a minute. So, Lucan, I'm gonna put you in the spotlight for a minute, because I've got to tell you, my man, I was sort of following the events of the day through social media. I have got the utmost respect for your all or nothing, balls to the wall approach to going to a World Championship event.
Yeah, well, we were planning on writing like a return letter from Fix-It to the Ministry of Dice after you did your letter to Fix-It. Like, actually, I did pretty well, or whatever Fix-It says.
Yeah.
But no, it was more like a thing where I thought about the where I was going at Worlds, and was like, I cannot win this by playing safe and trying to go, like, we had 5 rounds, I think it was, right? So I cannot try to win this by playing safe and going 3-2. So I just kind of saying matchups are always so huge in Nats and Worlds. Just have to put everything you can into your win con, and just if you get the wrong matchup, that's it for you. But I got in matchups, I was pretty lucky, I think, because until I played Static Field, I was doing well. So
yeah, Static Field. I've got my eye on that one at the moment.
I hate it. I hated distraction. I hate blink transmutation. I hate Kate Bishop, and I hate static field. I like have one big guy out there. That's always how I've liked it. Yeah.
Mr. Timmy over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was following the events of the day. I was like, this kid is going the distance with this fix-it madness. What is going on? I was loving every minute of it. Tell me this, though. One thing I was curious about. How you must have had quite a reliable set of fist and bolt rolls early doors to make it happen. Is it pretty consistent?
Well, when I play my dad, it is. And that's the only person who I was really able to playtest against consistently in the preparation for Worlds, because he's the only one who's like always around. He's around every night. So we practice every night, and it was pretty consistent rolling 3 going second, rolling 3 fists in a bolt turn 1 without too much difficulty.
But he also built your built
my team around
with that in mind.
Keep getting the bolts and the fists. Having a Yarnbjorn on there helped a lot.
Sure.
What other globals did I have that helped? I mean,
you had 7 globals.
I had 7 globals on the team. Most of them were just geared around making it more consistent or maybe a little bit faster. But yeah, a lot of people online say like, well, 6 cost doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, Lucan was able to buy his fix-it turn 2 with Kree Captain, Ring of Winter, but it's like easy also to forget that in Global Escalation, only 2 cards made it in because the rest of my team was globals and actions. So
yeah, for sure. And I'm the type of team builder. Well, you guys all know you've been listening intently to the episodes. But I like a pivot. I like a bit of control, bit of defensive stuff in there. You forego all of that and just went right.
Yeah.
Down the line, fix it for the win, or go big or go home, basically.
Yeah, my kind of thought process was similar to back when Ultraman was in the meta, and they tried putting different stuff on the Ultraman team, and what it came down to eventually was just none of this stuff is really helping that much. But if I have extra globals, it'll help me a little bit. So.
See, Ultraman, you've got to name one of the ones on my hate list.
Oh, dude, Ultraman was like my big team before Fix It. That was like the last really great team I brewed.
See, that's the Timmy in you again.
I got it was Boom Boom with Ultraman. We went 5-0 in Swiss in the WKO with Boom Boom and Ultraman alone.
Oh, it sounds disgusting.
It was disgusting.
It was gross, but it was fun.
But we need to, it's funny, you have these things where you brew something like that and then you get through the tournament. And if they're one-trick ponies, a lot of times by the time you come to the end of the tournament, everybody else in the pool has figured out how to beat you,
Yeah,
and
sure.
that sort of happened in that Ultraman team because at that time there was still double blanking going around. So that was the answer to that. We really needed
the 4-cost
Shriek, like the one that you like so much. What, Dark Empathy, I think her name is.
Yeah, that's right.
And we had the 3 cost. If we had the 4 cost, I think we could have probably made it. But anyway,
for sure. Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. So, congrats to you, Luke. And I don't know if you saw, I posted on the day. I said that not only have you come second, but you had to go home with the winner.
Who never rubs any wound. It's all in the wound.
Every time I say that, I was like, well, Crown is heavy, and I'm just like, shut up.
Well, there's every day is a learning experience, my man. That's it's all just a matter of time. You're young, you're a whippersnapper yet. Your dad's only got so many years to take these titles.
I was playing. I was thinking, this is my chance, man. It's all going. Every day I feel another brain cell dropping from my ear. So it was my one opportunity.
Is that where the brain cells drop out of now? The ears.
Out the ears. Very good. Well, to turn over to Arj's team for a minute, this super rare mimic seems to be the point of most discussion around the team there. In fact, there's a guy down my FLGS now who puts it on every bleeding team he plays.
Sorry.
Yeah. So thanks for making that one meta.
It really is so flexible. I mean, actually, I would think it would be something that you'd be interested in, Chris, because it does have so much flexibility. The fact that you can change it at any time you play a global, so you can flip it up for defensive and then flip it back when it's your turn to do something offensive, and KO it, refield it. It's a great card, and I don't even want to talk about some of the other things you can pair it with, because it just gets ugly fast in some ways. It could be a broken card in so many ways, with a lot of when active abilities. It just
in Golden too.
In Golden, it's just
for sure.
ugly.
Yes.
Ugly.
It is a card that I've always been interested in, but I didn't own a copy until a short while back. So I just never kind of got around to it, and it passed me by.
I'll throw out a little. If anybody wants to try him, if you thought Black Manta wasn't broken enough, pair a Mimic, super rare Mimic with him, and it is so unbelievably nasty.
That sounds glorious. That sounds glorious.
It really should. It's one of those ones where, if in your friendly games, your local games, one ought to ban that combo straight out.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, there you go. Excellent. So just a great performance on the day, guys. And well, who knows? We may not even have a World Championship next year. So you could be the Arj. You could be the forever. Yeah.
I hope that is not the case. I'm really hoping we get some WKOs or at least nationals and something of that. Because I just like to play, and titles are nice, but I like to play the game. So
yeah,
hopefully
sure.
we get a chance to do that more competitively in the future.
Well, let's see how that pans out. We're not very political that way, are we, Andy? We don't get into that stuff.
Do we not?
No, we tend to make snide little remarks rather than address it head on.
I feel like we'll still have nationals and stuff. I mean, I hope we get some more WKOs. Even that, just having something going at the friendly local gaming store is great. So,
the thing that gives me confidence personally is, look at Attackwing. Every time they show up at nationals or worlds, it's like one tiny little table with 4 players. But they still host nationals and they still host worlds, which gives me hope that we'll have that too. Yes,
absolutely. And maybe one day they'll hold worlds over here, and you guys can all come and take a trip over to our little island.
That would be tremendous.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Come and play where the real champions are.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, hang on. They've all emigrated to Canada. So a little birdie told me, gents, that this mugs game of podcasting is one that you're planning on taking a step into yourselves.
Yeah, indeed. I was one of those ones where I really didn't want to do it just because I knew the work involved was going to be intense, having worked in the post-production side of the entertainment business. But Lucan's been kind of picking at me on the side all along and saying, hey, we ought to do this. And the other aspect is when you're in Los Angeles, you spend inordinate amount of time on the road. I spend I can easily be driving 3 hours a day, and so listening to a podcast is sort of a life-saving, mind relieving, stress relieving opportunity. So for me, these podcasts are really important. And when the guys over in Utah decided to hang it up, Lucan looked at me and said, we really ought to have something going on. And so then we weren't obviously planning on doing super great at Worlds, but when we finished 1-2, he was like, we really got to do this. So that's the plan.
And you were totally on board.
Okay. Okay, yes. In spirit, yes, but again, we're time challenged, obviously, and so that's the only drag on it. But we love the game, and I think it's really important for the health of the game to have people talking about it and just promoting it, and like Double Burst and you guys and the Reserve Pool and the Attack Zone and the prep area, all of those shows really, at least for us, were inspirational and helped us become better players. It helped attract other people to the game. And I think the game is at a state right now where it really needs more people to just kind of uplift, and Lucan and I dabbled in chess before this. And so,
dabbled in, it was a little bit more than dabbled in,
but anyway, there, are a lot of, things from programs that with chess that celebrated the beauty of that game, and we thought, well, there's things that could be done similarly in a Dice Masters podcast, and so that's where we're going to come from, Matt.
Andy, man, it sounds like they've put quite a bit of thought into this.
Someone's got to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, when can listeners expect to hear the first episode, the maiden voyage?
The maiden voyage. Yeah, we're aiming for the end of the month. We're gonna try to go. Whatever. I got to talk to you about specifically, like what weeks you guys are airing. We'll try to air on the opposite weeks, probably.
Oh, that's right.
And somewhere around the end of the month. I'm chill. I'm painfully cramming on RSS feed information and WordPress themes, et cetera, and kind of trying to catch up to speed on all of that.
It's I don't talk about it very often, but it is ridiculously easy. Trust me. If you were to look over mine and Andy's shoulders on an average day of recording and editing a podcast, you'd be like, how do these idiots even get through the day? You know what I mean? This guy, can he even work his phone? You know what I mean? It is outrageously easy. We're big believers of just get it done quick and dirty, fire it out there. You know what I mean? So
You hear
I'm sure
that?
I hear it. But, I think I may be the most senior of the members here. So
Right. I think you tell yourself that to spin your wheels instead of get the job done. This is what I've been telling you.
Yeah, but my wheels on my old walker aren't rolling so fast these days.
Sure. Well, a little bit of friendly advice, gents, if you want it. You can't please everybody. You just got to get it done and throw it out there.
Right on.
Just got to get it done, throw it out there. The haters be hating no matter what. So, it's just like Lucan's team. Just go big or go home, innit?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it. And the title will be Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder. Yeah, it's funny. We were batting around titles before, and we decided that. And then after I bought, the website name, my wife was like, Rolling Thunder?
You mean like a fart?
Brilliant.
But I'm too cheap to change it now, so we're the Rolling Thunder Fart crew, man.
Oh, you should never have brought that up, guys. That's gonna that'll stick now. You'll never get rid of it.
Silent but deadly, my man. Silent.
Oh my word.
And that's Rolling Thunder with an apostrophe after the end. No G. Very important distinction there.
Of course, yeah, because it's got to be kind of contemporary and street, innit, Lucan?
I'll allow you to explain why there's the apostrophe.
It's well, if we really want to go down the apostrophe lane, we could talk for hours here. It's just, the internet hates apostrophes, computers hate apostrophes, and as a person with an apostrophe in their name, there's nothing worse than when I type in my name and the computer comes back to me and says, you must enter a valid name. So we're celebrating the apostrophe as in principle here.
There it is, the invalid O'Neills. That's tickled me, that, as I love it. Well, very good. Well, I and Andy, we both particularly look forward to a bit of friendly competition with you guys. I mean, we're going to smash you out of the water, of course, but we look forward to a bit of friendly competition. I think you're right. It's good to have more voices working in this field. So everybody keep your eyes and ears open for Rolling with an apostrophe Thunder coming at the end of the month. Yeah.
Right on.
Exciting times.
Yeah, we're fired up.
Yeah, well, Lucan sounds like he is. I'm not sure what you've got going on there. Right?
You are fired up. You spend a lot more time. I spend time working on it myself, but not as much as you have.
Well, yeah, it's true. But it's always important to have your kingpin secret trapdoor escape hatch ready too.
Yes, you've clocked that, have you? The kingpin escape hatch. Yeah. Did you hear that, Andy? These guys really do listen to every episode.
Wow. Our safe word.
That is our safe word, yeah. I mean, Andy's got a catalogue of safe words for a variety of different situations, naturally.
Different people, different places, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes he forgets and loses himself.
What's life without a safe word? Dangerous.
Dangerous. So where do you guys play over in LA?
We play in a bunch of places. The place we got started was down in Bellflower, and that seemed right up, I guess, a couple years ago. But we go mostly to a place called Comic Hero U, which I don't know if you're familiar with Archivist. He's done a lot of stuff. He's the TO down there does an awesome job. Always has super creative events happening. We're getting ready to start a winter league coming up where he's building lands. He's kind of he's mixing like a little bit of Destiny, like you have lands that you battlefields that you start with that you can do extra things, and it's like a 6 or 7 week event. So he's always got some kind of creative things planned down there. That's in Fullerton. And then we run a monthly thing, ITO, a monthly thing up in Culver City. It's game time, and we'll try to do some fun stuff. We do all run the gamut there. And then weekly up in Chatsworth, we do another one. So we play a bunch. We still have, a pretty thriving scene going on, in at least those 3 stores.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. Yeah, 3 stores.
For the winter league, I would say they'll probably get, usually when he runs a league, because he puts so much work into it, and it's so well thought out, and there's good prize support, and we all just know each other really well there, so it's a very friendly scene. We'll probably we can get up to 12 people there, for winter league sometimes, depending on the day.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Of course, your winters out there are very different to our winters over here.
You almost don't know you're having them. It's true.
Yeah. Rocks and lizards. Man.
Well, that is one thing, when I first moved out here, the thing that I noticed most of all was there was no bugs, which was awesome. And then the second thing I noticed was that you're really unaware of time floating by. You suddenly turn around and you go, I've got this son going to college next year. How did that happen? Without the seasons turning, it just kind of floats away,
We have the same, but it's just always really cold and miserable.
Yeah. Some days I don't even know if it's day or night, really. It's that dark, I don't even. Is that overcast and cloudy? It's like, did my alarm go off? Is it really 6 a.m.? Yeah.
Good training to spend your life in a U-boat, right?
In a U-boat? That's so random. Sure. Yeah. Well, actually, little known fact. Actually, Andy's grandfather, he served on a submarine in the Second World War.
Oh, same here. On my mom's side.
They're on the same boat.
Do they call a submarine a boat?
Only if you're in the know.
Only if you're in the right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Admiral England.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, he only got promoted though because of his surname.
Well, I did a few things to get that promotion, but I'm not allowed to speak about any of it.
Those safe words again.
Dive.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right. Well, I tell you what. All this lovely conversation is all pleasant and everything, but we're actually here for some serious business. We're actually here for some serious business. It's serious business twofold, in fact, because my Siri just went off. I said serious. It's serious business for 2 reasons. So you guys are here to come and lay down a score on the patented Ministry of Dice's The Bar. But as you're the first competitors of 2019, we are closing down the last leaderboard, and you will be not only our first competitors of the year, but our first competitors on the new leaderboard. So not only are you becoming contestants in the bar, but you have the opportunity to set the bar today.
Right on. All right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So both of you have given us your specialist subjects, and for a little bit of a change of pace, folks, we're going to do 2 back-to-back 2-minute quickfire rounds. That's all very exciting. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to my partner in crime, who's going to get us going into some quiz action.
Okay, should we put the theme tune in?
Yeah, let's put it in now.
Oh, now?
Yeah, about now.
No.
No, I'll tell you what, let's do it now.
Okay. Okie doke. So you both should know how this works. It's 2 minutes of quick fire questions. I will take Lucan first, and his specialist subject is cards of 6 cost or over, the Timmy quiz. If you know the answer, give it to me. I will let you know if it's correct. If it's wrong, I'll give you the right answer. And if you want to save a bit of time, pass, and we'll go straight on to the next one. Are you ready, Lucan?
Yes.
Chris, are you ready with a timer and a pen and paper?
I have a Churchill insurance envelope and a pencil. Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay, in which case then I am ready.
Cool. I've printed mine out today to be all kind of professional, so it might rustle a bit.
Wow.
I know. New year, new me. So if you count us in, and then we'll kick off.
Okay then, Lucan. Andy, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
There is only one basic action card with a purchase cost of 6 or over. What is it?
End of Days, World's Finest.
Correct. Whilst Hawk, Might Makes Right is active, what happens when Dove is KO'd?
He deals his attack to your opponent.
Correct. There are many versions of Hulk that cost 6 or more to purchase, but only one that costs 8. Which subtitle of the 8? What is the subtitle of the 8 cost Hulk?
Oh, it's a super rare one from Spider-Man. I think it's a Warbound.
Correct. What is the energy type of Nova Buckethead?
Bolt.
Correct. What is the subtitle of the 10 cost Thanos from Age of Ultron?
Gemkeeper.
No, it's infinite.
Oh.
9 cost characters are a rarity. However, one character has 2 9 cost versions. Which character is it?
Stompa.
Correct. 6 costs are hard to purchase. That the card has a global ability that allows you to pay a bolt to reduce the cost by 2. What is it?
Ring of Winter.
Correct. What alignment is the Ring of Winter?
It is neutral.
No, it is evil.
1 minute.
Zombie super rares are a thing. Which 6 cost zombie reduces the purchase cost of a 6 cost character by 2?
Morbius.
Correct. Surprisingly, there is only one character with the Guardians of Galaxy affiliation which has a purchase cost of 6 or more. Who is it?
Pass.
What character is the only character to have 6 cost cards in the Harley Quinn team pack?
Pass.
Avengers
30 seconds.
versus X-Men has a boat ton of 6 costs, including Dr. Octopus. What energy type is Dr. Octopus?
Shield.
Correct. Doctors love being high-cost cards. Dr. Octopus, Dr. Doom, and Doctor Strange all have multiple high-cost cards, but who has the most?
Doctor Strange.
Correct. Orcs. Wow.
10
what
seconds.
energy type is Gazkul Thrucker?
He's a mask.
Correct. One of my favourite 6-cost cards is Valindra Shadowmantle,
3,
the right hand of Shazam.
2.
What is her
1.
keyword ability?
Time.
Ender Drain. 2.
Correct. Oh, that was a blinding run. I think I was about to run out of questions.
Let's have a look here now then.
Right.
So, 1. I stopped counting for a moment then. Do we want to wait until Arj has done his and then give them the totals together, or doing one at a time?
No, that sounds like good. Let's do that. I'll give out any answers that you passed on, which was the
Guardians of the
6-cost
Galaxy.
Guardians. That's Beta Ray Bill. The 6-cost from the Harley Quinn team pack is Power Girl.
I forgot about both of those, so it's a good thing that I passed as fast as I did.
Indeed. It was a good run, though.
Really good. Pressure is on, Arj.
Yes, can I pitch out, like make a little promo for the foundation of Onomatopoeia Foundation? Because
The foundation of Onomatopoeia Foundation.
Exactly.
Care for wording that again?
All right.
Right, let me flip my envelope over. There we go. And Andy, you're set with Arj's questions.
Yes, specialist subject for Arj is promo cards.
Ooh. Right, okay then. Arj, Andy, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
What promo card was included in the Age of Ultron's collector's box?
I was Captain America.
Correct. Aquaman, Arthur Curry, has a sweet or art card. What energy type is he?
Shield.
Correct. Poor Hawkeye, he only has one promo card. What's his subtitle?
Avengers Disassembled.
Correct. Iron Fist, the Immortal, is one of the best promos produced. What energy type is he?
Fist.
Correct. OP Scarecrow uses a Scarecrow die from which set?
Whoa. Warlight, I think.
Correct. What is the purchase cost of Apocalypse Earth 295?
7.
That's right. What 2 affiliations does OP Scarecrow have?
Villain and Legion of Doom.
Correct. There are 2 10-cost promos.
1 minute.
Thanos Gauntlet Wielder is one. What is the other?
Oh, boy. Pass.
What AVX foil variant card was a prize for top 4 at Nationals 2017?
AVX foil, did you say?
Yeah.
Pass.
There is only one cost promo. What is it?
Momentum.
Correct. What can you do for free when Beast Nefarious Genesis blocks?
Purchase a
30 seconds.
character.
Yep. There is 2 Marvel promo non-basic action cards, both of which have the same title. What is the title?
Shield.
Correct. Move up to 2 sidekicks from your use pile to the field. Double burst move 3 sidekicks instead is the ability of
10 seconds.
What was that?
Rally.
Correct. What is the energy type of Batmite?
3, 2, 1.
Shield.
Time.
Correct.
I couldn't help but notice that there are actually more than one cost promos in the game.
Kobold, my man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my answer was Kobold, but then
There is momentum, too.
But there is momentum. But there wasn't momentum when I wrote it originally for Isaac back about 6 months ago. But you got it. So
cost. Let me think. I think I can
Phoenix
figure.
Force, dude.
Phoenix Force. Yeah, I knew that. Of course.
Yeah. Was there any other ones that you passed? I think you got
there was 2 passes. I marked 2 passes.
Phoenix. Oh, the AVX foil variant card. That was when
Gobby.
Oh, Gobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when national champions were something.
Yeah.
2017.
Oh my word! Right, well.
I'll bumble my way through those 2. Apologies.
No problem at all.
I'm a bit rusty. We're not done a bar in a little while.
Yeah.
But you're not going to believe the results. So, Lucan, a fine performance with 11 correct answers.
That's a good result.
Arj, an even finer performance with 12.
Wow.
See, this how it's one higher than me. Yeah.
Like I tell him, the crown is heavy and the belt is tight. You know?
My word, Lucan, commiserations, my man. This is all we've done is pile on, I'm afraid.
I'm glad I got 11, but why'd he have to get 12?
I know. When did you go to college? You planning on moving out for that? Are you going to be?
Yeah, I will be. I think.
Yeah, will be now, he says.
The bar has been set very high for the first one of the year.
Yeah, that's a tremendous performance, gents. You chose your specialist subjects wisely, I feel.
Well, it was funny because I was thinking errata beforehand, but
yes,
that's awesome. So it's fun because there's a lot of cards you never play in there.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
I love that Apocalypse though. That's a fun card.
It is cool. Yeah, but the cards over 6. There are loads of cards over 6 to the point where I thought, like, are they going to get? This is going to get too obscure, but Lucan knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he's uncanny about that. He looks at these things once and he has it, and so I've got that kind of what's the dude with the name who the guy with the he does that and he'll instantly go oh, that's the 6-cost Punisher from blah blah blah.
Yeah, we're a bit like that, aren't we, Andy? We're like with the picture with the the one with the boobs.
The one with the boobs. That's I know that one. Black Widow.
Or it could be, isn't there a Blink that's a bit boobalicious?
And Vixen. Vixen's got her wabs out a little bit.
How could we forget about Vixen?
How could you?
I'm sorry, Mari. It's because of that K-Bish, you see.
Kate Bush.
No, Kate Bishop.
Oh.
Although Kate Bush, man, was pretty foxy in a day. Right, folks. Well, I'm going to have to call Kingpin on this.
Okay.
But thank you so very much, Arj and Lucan, for coming along, having a bit of a chat with us and taking part in the bar.
Our great pleasure.
and setting the bar for us today as well. Please do let us know when you're ready to get rolling with Rolling Thunder, and we'll make sure we mention it a bit closer to the time for you. In the meantime, we'll head on over to the next segment. Thanks, guys.
Right on.
Thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and for this segment now, we're going to make a return to our patented, super popular Pick of the Week segment. Woo! I'll put the thingy.
Theme tune.
The Who Jimmy What's It, yeah, that you wrote and sing and all that. Shall I put it in now?
Yeah, put it in now.
Put it in now.
Pick of the Week!
Yes, that's right, Pick of the Week. And for this episode's Pick of the Week, we're going to take a look at the Warhammer 40k sets. So we've both chosen a card from the Battle of Ultramar or the other two, the team packs. What are they called?
Team packs.
Team packs. Space Wolves and Orcs. Oh, it's Orcs Wah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the Space Wolves one just called Space Wolves?
Space Wolves. Whee!
Yeah, Space Wolves. Grr. Grr, arg. There you go, there's a little nerd reference. Let's see if anyone gets that. Yes, that's right. We've both picked a card from the new 40k sets. We're a little behind the curve on this one, really, I suppose, but it's taken a little while to arrive on these shores, and then Christmas came along, so we've only just sort of sat down and given them a proper looking at, haven't we?
Yeah, I got mine for Christmas, so I had a little peruse and picked out some nice little gems.
Yeah, very good. Okay, mate. Well, do you want to get us out the gate with your Pick of the Week, then?
Yeah, well, my Pick of the Week was your Pick of the Week. So I've gone for one which I think is fairly obvious. It's clearly quite a strong card, well, I think, anyway. And it is Grey Hunter Counterattack.
Yeah,
it is a 2-cost mask. You've got the Imperium and Space Wolves affiliations. The text reads, when Grey Hunter is KO'd, deal 1 damage to all opposing character dice. He's max 5. Get your 3 team packs purchased. And his stats are 022 132 242.
Yeah, lovely card, that one.
And he's good, and he's very similar, because we did a Pick of the Week a few months ago where I picked Deadshot from the Harley Quinn set.
That's right.
And he's very similar to that, but he costs 2 less.
Yes, yeah. The purchase cost is definitely one of the attractive elements of that guy at the 2-cost mask compared to what was Deadshot 4.
Yeah, it's 4 cost.
Yeah, 4 costs, so certainly. Although I've played around with that Grey Hunter a little bit in the last week or two. I must admit I find his fielding cost a little painful. Yeah,
so level 2 he costs 2 to field, which is expensive. I think in there is a Space Wolves card which reduces fielding costs, am I right?
You may well be.
Well, that may be something to look at. I'm pretty sure there is one. I won't go rifling through the box, because in the last episode it did, and it made a racket.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, professional as always. But yeah, so the idea is you can buy 5 of them as well. I just have the image of a field of 5 Grey Hunter dice and block with all 5. It's 2 as a defense on all 3 sides, so it's not a hell of a lot. And you could be KOing stuff left, right, and centre, ready for your turn, and you can roll them in again and swing in. And was it 4 attack on level 3 is pretty decent.
Yes, yeah. And so the popular way of using this guy is to pair him up with the likes of Staff of the Forgotten One and Danger Room, and the new basic action that does the same thing out of 40k, whichever that is. We're all over this 40k stuff, aren't we?
We are. We're like seasoned pros. We should do a podcast.
We should, yeah.
I mean,
Seething Corruption, it's called. I've just looked it up on the Sidekick app.
Seething Corruption.
Yeah.
Well, I quite like that blanket, even if it's just getting rid of sidekicks and some horrible little annoying stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you think about what you might be facing across the field, a level 1 spot, a mimic, they're 2 examples that occur to me immediately that have 1 defense that it would be beneficial to have your opponent kill and have to re-roll for their turn.
Yeah, and with it being a 2 cost, it's not unfeasible to have 2 or 3 out, and then you're getting rid of quite a few things. You got your blobs and your collectors of the world that will still be there, but they'll be quite lonely.
Yes, yeah, but again, it's got loads of combo potential. Pair it up with a Splinter's Teachings, for example, and those collectors and blobs will be soon taken care of as well.
Yeah, you're thinking of Arch Nemesis.
I may well be. Yes. Which one? Splinter's Teaching. Splinter's Teaching is the one that swaps the attacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Arch Nemesis is the one that switches the attack and defense.
Well, it makes the attack the same as it makes the defense the same as the attack.
Same as the attack. That's the one. Yeah, that is the one I'm thinking of. You're right. Yeah. Sorry. Apologies, listeners. I'm thinking of Arch Nemesis. I should know as well. I've played that a few times and all.
So he's a good cycler. He'll be cycling around left, right, and centre. You're going to knock him out as much as possible. I think I'm keen to try him out with Blue Eyes.
Yeah, sure. Malekith, Fabricators.
Yeah.
Force Attack Global. He's a nice one to have in your team if you're using Force Attack Globals.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah. Really nice kind of utility card. Loads and loads of combo potential. Decent on its own. If you just have 1 out and they attack, and they've got to think twice about attacking because you can block with it, and he's going to do damage to everything. So any sidekick wall is going. So if they're trying to just field sidekicks so that they're thinning their bag out, that's going to fill it all back. Well, it's not really just going to go into prep, but then they're unlikely to roll them all sidekicks again. So you're going to be keeping them on their toes and trying to manage their bag successfully. And that's solid.
In fact, actually, my head's running away with myself there. I was thinking about there's an avalanche, isn't there, that doubles when KO'd game texts.
Oh, I don't know if any ever looked at that avalanche. That's not too dissimilar to this one.
The when fielded one, yeah. Or Valindra, or Doctor Doom if you're playing Golden.
Doctor Doom.
Thinning those defense numbers. Anything, Orc Knob is another one that's popular. Get your knob out, KO your Grey Hunter. Hey, KO your Grey Hunter, clear the field, and then make him massive. So it's a massive knob.
I do like a massive knob.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing worse than facing down a massive knob coming across the table at you.
Doctor Doom and Momentum and Grey Hunter.
Which one's Momentum? The one that
basic action, you roll everything from your prep area. So you can field load of Grey Hunters, get them knocked out straight away, do 1 damage for each one of them to your opponent's characters, field them again, do it again, and knock them out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, loads of stuff you could do with that guy. Yeah.
And his purchase cost makes it actually kind of viable that you might want to try it.
Yes, yeah. I think that's a great choice, my man. That's a great choice, and it's certainly one I think we'll be seeing. It's not difficult to KO a character. It's certainly not difficult to take advantage of the damage that he's doing to your opponent, like you say, even if it's just to keep the weenie count down. And loads of combo potential with that. And as you know, I've been giving him a little try myself lately.
I have. I look forward to trying them out myself.
Yeah, very good. Okay, excellent. Shall I move on to mine then?
Hey, please do.
Yeah, or ours, I suppose we should say, because through just coincidence, we initially both picked the same card, didn't we? Unknowingly.
We did.
Yeah. So I've chosen the Noxious Blightbringer, subtitle Cursed Plague Bell. It's a 3-cost mask, and his game text reads: while Noxious Blightbringer is active, deal your opponent 1 damage each time they spend a wild energy. And his stats are 031, 132, and 133.
It's cool, isn't it?
It is cool, yeah. So I just think I think the phrase I used with your good self before we started recording is, it's just elegant. It's just beautiful in its simplicity, really. 3-cost mask, stick him in the field, and while on the surface you might think, is there a lot of damage potentially in that? I think it's deceptively damaging.
Yeah, I think so. And again, his purchase cost is to the point where he's actually kind of usable, and against using the word competitive, but he's going to get used. You put him on a team, you're going to buy him at 3 cost.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was where my head was at. I was thinking, trying to think and listen at the same time. Then is that even if you don't end up doing the damage, because it says spend a wild energy, putting your opponent in a position where they choose to re-roll their wilds is a good thing, surely.
If they're looking for a specific energy, then you're half in their option, aren't you? Because if you're trying to roll a shield, so you don't want a shield or a wild, suddenly let's think about what the percentage would be. Instead of it being a 1 in 3 chance, it's 1 in 6 chance, unless you take 1 damage to use it.
To use it, yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been in these situations myself where I've been playing against a card of that nature, something that's just a little chippy thing. Let me try and think of an example. I'll tell you, Lyssa Drat from War of Light was a great example of this, where you paid 2 life to... Is it pay 2 life? Or you take 2 damage to field the named character?
Yeah, each dice as well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another one. Jinzo used to be like this, where you could pay... I think it was 2 life to ignore his effect, so you could use a global.
Yeah.
Is that right? God, it's been a while since I've played with either of those, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that. And in the early part of the game, you go, well, you know what? I need to use this PXG right now, so I'm going to take 2 life off Jinzo. Or you'd say, do you know what? I've got to field something. I'll have to take the hit from Lyssa Drak. And you think, I can take that. Life's a resource, as you've often said. No problem. But do you know what? When you're down to sort of 12, 11, 10 life, and you're rolling wilds, and you're thinking, I really need that to spend, but if I do, that's another 1 or 2 damage I'm going to take. It's actually quite a tough spot, in terms of, what do they say? Put your opponent in a position where they have to make tough decisions.
Yeah.
They soon catch up with you, I suppose is what I'm saying. They soon, those 1,000 cuts do actually start to add up. And I know it's only 1 damage, and Jinzo and Lyssa Drak used to be 2, but still, I think when someone's kind of let themselves get down to they've been sacrificing in order to use those wilds and getting themselves down to the lower end of 10 or even beyond, suddenly your wilds become a liability.
Yeah, exactly. So suddenly the wilds that you're happy to see are pain in the ass.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're like, well, do I just not spend them and just let them drop into transit at the end of my main step? Or do I just leave them sitting there unspent?
Yeah. I'm thinking if they're going for the big purchase, like they're going for the what's the big one on this? Let's say they're going for a 6 cost or a 7 cost, which is the crux of the team, the main kind of one that they're trying to aim for. So they've ramped up to getting 7 dice or the opportunity for 7 energy, and then out of that, 2 or 3 of them are wilds.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got here. And now, in order to buy my win con that I've been trying to get to, I've got to take 3 damage. It's hefty.
Yeah, and how many times, I suppose, Cassia, I've never done the maths on this. This is completely unscientific. But how many times, listeners and Andy, have you relied on a mask to use for a cheeky res at the end of your main step? Or, to use as a mask for a quick Cape Bishop Global or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more often than you might initially think on the surface. So a 3 cost with relatively low fielding that I actually think is just so simple, straightforward. Spend that, I'm going to hit you for 1. Just like I say, elegant, beautifully simple. Really into that kind of stuff. And it's direct damage, which I suppose predictably I would choose a direct damage for. You imagine that in the days of Cosmic Cube being legal as well.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. That would have been fun. But I definitely think there's been, I was playing down the FLGS last night, and I was sort of half, like I say, completely unscientific. I didn't note any numbers down or anything, but I was sort of half paying attention to how many wilds I saw rolled. And I kept thinking to myself, that would have been 2 damage then. that would have been 1 cheeky one. Oh, he's kept that question mark to use in my turn. So yeah, he could have Kate Bishop back my attack, but it cost him a little bit. You know what I mean? It was all just, I was kind of adding it up and thinking, well, that's just a normal Tuesday night casual get-together. Those question marks are getting thrown around a lot more often than you might think on the surface, yeah.
Yeah, as a standalone, I've got my 7 cards, I've got my team set up, this is going to do this is going to do that. That, what do I put in the last slot? It's a good choice. It's a bit like Tabaxi Rogue, isn't it? in the kind of, there's a 3 cost, so it's a utility, it's usable, you're going to buy it, you're going to kind of use it. It can sit there and be a pain in the arse without needing to combo against anything else. I mean, there are combos available, but you could just sit it out there and it's just a bit of a pain in the arse.
Yeah, I've often toyed around with the idea of making like a bit of a tax team, where whatever choice your opponent makes, it's gonna Tabaxi Rogue. Well, yeah, you can ramp like that if you want, but it'll cost you. Yeah, you can spend all those wilds if you want, but it'll cost you. Do you know what I mean? But, just actually completely. I mean, it's a very passive team and very boring, but just like, yeah, I'll buy that, put it in the field, buy that, put it in the field, buy that, put it in the field, buy that, put it in the field. All right, well, over to you. I wonder if there's anything. Let me know, listeners. I'd be interested to know if anyone's tried out a bit of a tax team that's tried to narrow down your opponent's options so much that they're left with no choice but to take a bit of damage or not do anything at all. Just completely oppressively lock them out. I'd be interested to know. So, yeah, 2 picks of the week there for you, folks. So let us know what your favourite card from the 40k sets are, avoiding the obvious, of course. Cards like Venerable Dreadnought and Orc Knob will clearly get a very popular vote. But, let us know. Pop something in the comments and give us a shout if you've got any other thoughts around the new 40k cards and what your pick of the week might be. But there you go. There's two little gems that we believe certainly could be fun to play with. Cool. All right, then. Excellent. Okay, moving on to the next segment. So, ladies and gents, that concludes yet another episode of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We hope that you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed recording it. In fact, it was a lot of fun recording it this week. And on that note, thanks to Arj and Lucan for coming along and having a bit of a chat and playing the bar with us.
Thank you.
If UK listeners, once again, don't forget the MOD PDM is coming up. It's at Element Games on the 10th of February. Single affiliation. Make your way over to the Element Games website and go to the tickets section to take a look at details there, or find the event on the UK Dice Masters Facebook page. That's got the details of the restricted format, the banned cards, and a few of the extra rules and caveats, as well as some exciting photos of some of the prizing that's being put together. In fact, I will draw people's attention to Stuart has done us another solid with some great custom artwork.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Has that been put up yet?
I put a little sample of that's not all the custom art cards. The mini sixes have been at it as well.
Oh, there's still that Melinda May to get.
Yeah, there's a new Melinda May now as well.
Oh, how exciting. I like that card now as well.
It might even feature in your single affiliation team, or not.
Or not.
Other than that, we'll be back with episode 39 in 2 weeks' time.
We will indeed.
Yeah, that's everything. So I've been Chris, aka True Mr. Six.
I've been Andy, aka Mrs. Salka.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now. I don't get that one.
Mrs. Salga.
Yeah, who's that?
It's where Jocelyn lives.
Oh, Mrs. Salga. I was very slow on the uptake there.
No, I think it's just a bit obscure, but someone will get it. Tej will get it.
Not my finest moment. Well, everyone will get it when I put this conversation in the outtake.